They can listen.
Thank
So
you.
this is now being recorded for additional attendees who weren't able to make it due to technical difficulties or for some other reason, so that you don't miss out on this, and then you can listen to it at your own time, what works best for you. So my name is Dr. Heidi Wilkinson. This is my first in a series of master's classes for logistic leadership and supply chain management. So let's go ahead and get started. This is leadership lessons for supply chain management. We're going to be looking at key insights for effective management in today's dynamic business environment. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. So what's the overview about? Key insights for effective management in today's dynamic and business environment. So we're going to be looking at implementing leadership standard work effectively, effective time management and leadership standard work, key concepts in leadership standard work, traditional versus agile leadership, and continuous improvement. And if you have any questions, Dr. April or Leah, please put them in the chat. And after the presentation, I'm going to hopefully be able to at least set aside 5 minutes for any additional comment or questions that you may have. So when we look at implementing leadership standard work effectively, what does that mean? It means implementing leadership standard work is pivotal for supply chain organizations aiming for operational excellence. And a lot of organizations actually have operational excellence departments, managers, leads to help the organization become subject matter experts when we look at leadership standard work. So this comprehensive approach ensures leaders prioritize essential tasks, manage their time efficiently, and foster a culture of accountability. By focusing on structured leadership practices, organizations can drive continuous improvement initiatives, develop their teams, and enhance overall productivity, leading to sustainable growth and success in the competitive landscape. Dr. April or Leah, did you have any questions on that, or did you need me to deep dive a little bit or provide any type of example?
No, thank you. None for me either. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, effective time management and leadership standard work. So, when we think about that, it's implementing the strategies for effective time management. It's crucial for successful leadership. And you do that also through executive functions, which talk about that for organizational skills, prioritizing, time management, and by prioritizing tasks and fostering accountability. And that's a part of responsibility. Leaders can enhance productivity and ensure smooth operations within their supply chain organization. And I also like leadership standard work because it's just a good communication tool. You can set that up using Smartsheet, an Excel spreadsheet, whatever tools that are out there. So if you're not there, a member of your team can still see your deliverables and what you're working on, and your senior leader can see it as well. And it's just a way of having accountability along with responsibility. So if a senior leader goes into a meeting with their senior leader, they can refer back to your leadership standard work and get an update and feel confident and comfortable that what they're reporting to executive leadership is correct. So that's another reason why leadership standard work is such a vital tool in business. Doesn't matter if it's transportation, warehouse distribution management, whatever that business model is, leadership standard work should be a tool that's used across the board. So let's look at key concepts in leadership standard work. And while we're at it, let me just go back. Ms. Leah, can you share a time when using leadership standard work helped you with smooth operations within your organization? Can you provide something for our listeners so that they can kind of tie that together?
Using effective time management. Well, for me, using Workday has allowed me to adequately manage my time and also let everybody in my work area, my employees, to understand where I'm coming from. It helps align every project that I'm doing, and it also helps them to kind of give them a kind of a heads up as to what's getting ready to, what we're getting ready to get into for the month's project.
I like Workday. And on LinkedIn, I've seen a lot of potential employers asking leadership, do you have experience in Workday? And a lot of organizations are moving to Workday because it's just a really effective tool, not only for that, but for putting in requisitions for jobs, job management. It just is a really what I like to call a one-stop shop. Dr. April, did you want to add to that or add anything to Leah's comment?
No, I appreciate what you all have shared, what you and Leah have shared.
Okay, so based on that, key concepts and leadership standard work. So number one, implementing leadership standard work. Effective leadership standard work is essential for streamlining processes and improving overall performance with supply chain organizations. And as Ms. Leah mentioned, using Workday, that is a phenomenal tool for implementing leadership standard work. It's right there. A person can go into it, they can see it, and it also helps with time management strategies, prioritizing task and efficient time allocation. And that's why I like also Smartsheet. So if you're not in Workday, using Smartsheets can help you with time management strategies because it just allows you to be efficient with your time. And that's crucial for leaders to foster productivity and ensure smooth operations in their teams. And also, leadership standard work helps with continuous improvement training, right? It allows us to see about lessons learned, what's working, especially if you're using either Workday or even a Smartsheet application. It allows you to track the team that you're working with, maybe other teams like an industrial engineering group or your IT group to see what's working and what's not and what we can improve upon. So it's very effective. It's engaging in continuous improvement projects through training, encouraging a culture of innovation and adaptability. And a lot of leaders want their leaders to be multifunctional and be able to have different skill sets when you're looking at your continuous improvement projects. How do we move the business forward? How do we provide adequate training for our people, whether they're frontline associates or if they're entry level management, mid level to senior level, even your executive leaders. So that is a good thing to have. Ms. Leah, when we look at continuous improvement training, have you used Workday to come up with strategies to help with that at all, or prioritizing efficient time and allocation and things like that when you're using your Workday?
All the time, yes. It helps me when I'm actually scheduling my employees. Because my employees, well, when I was working for my company, my employees utilized Workday to call off. So when I had to do the schedule, I was able to, see ahead. I usually did my schedule a month ahead, and I was able to see who requested time off and all that. So yes, it did help me manage my workflow with my company and the making sure that I had the adequate amount of people online when I needed them.
Right. And doing that probably just made your whole day much easier.
It did because I also was able to, because through Workday, I also had those that maybe wanted to work, and they weren't actually scheduled to work. So when I did get those unexpected call outs, I was able to call in an employee that were on the other list that was set up through Workday.
Hmm.
So I absolutely loved Workday and utilizing my time management with my company with them.
Nice, nice. Dr. April, were you getting ready to chime in?
No, I thought that was good. Thank you.
You're welcome. No, thank you, Miss Leah. So those of you all who are going to listen to the recording, you may already utilize Workday, other systems within your organization, Smart Sheets. There's a lot of really good tools out there that can help with leadership standard work. And if you are not an organization who's utilizing Workday at this time, as I mentioned, Smart Sheet, there are other tools out there that can help you establish a leadership standard work program and using these three concepts, the first three of these concepts to help you set up leadership standard work for your organization and those within your teams and your direct reports. So contrasting approaches, traditional versus agile leadership. For me, I'm a combination. So understanding the benefits and challenges of each approach can enhance leadership effectiveness in the supply chain organization. So you've got the traditional leader here, which is a structured hierarchy and clear directives, also known as the chain of command, often characterizes traditional leadership, ensuring stability, but potential shifting innovations. And we have the agile leader. The agile leader promotes flexibility and team collaboration, allowing for rapid response to changes in the supply chain environment. And I find that here in 21st century business, a lot of your executive leadership wants their frontline leadership and mid-level to senior level to kind of be both so that you can respond in the moment when need be. Because for those of you all who are in supply chain or logistics leadership, we know that both of those work centers are very fast moving and things can change on a dime. So I'm going to ask Dr. April and Miss Leah. Dr. April, when we look at this slide, uh, as a transition, as a traditional or agile leader, which one do you see yourself, or do you lean more one to the other, or are you kind of like me, a combination of both?
Well, I'm like you, Dr. Heidi. I am a combination of both. For me, I have, because of my military background, I have times that I use the traditional leadership approach. But because I believe in empowering others and ensuring that there are efficiencies and, also ensuring that the team collaborates well and can be abreast of everything that's going on. I demonstrate the agile leadership approach in that way. So I use both of these, and I found that it's been, helpful in using both and not being rigid and just, sticking with one approach. So for me, using both has helped me.
Thank you, Dr. April. I appreciate that. Miss Leah, what about you? Did you want to
Yes.
add to what Dr. April was talking about, or which type of leader are you?
Absolutely. For myself, I chose a blend of both because maintaining stability and control helps me to encourage agility and innovation. And I've noticed that with my job, my leaders, they often require me to switch between both because it depends on the situation. We have to, as leaders, adapt to change and be ready to change. So that's why I've oftentimes used the blend of both. So I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate your question. Thank you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I find that a lot of people, especially, like when I first started in leadership, 40 years ago, it was more rigid. But I think that as the generations have started to blend, coming into the workforce and some coming out of the workforce, we're seeing how younger leadership is changing the mindset, and people are having to come on board with that mindset and using a combination of both, not only to speak to those older leaders, but also to address the needs of younger leadership, the ones who are 25 to 35. Um, is there alignment on that? Do you both think I'm kind of hitting on that with you all's take and just adding to that? Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's great because, flexibility is very important, especially in crisis management within a job. And you're dealing with, different age groups and different
Mm-hmm.
that come from different backgrounds as far as the age is concerned and the workforce is concerned. So, yes, flexibility and having both is very important. And that's a great
Mm-hmm.
point that you brought
Mm-hmm.
to Heidi.
Thank you. Dr. April, did you want to piggyback on that? If
Just trying
no,
to unmute myself. I don't have anything to add. Thank you.
thank you. So, continuous improvement is a journey that requires dedication, consistency, and an ongoing training to achieve lasting success. So, I love the quote here that's saying it's a journey because it's about the progression, right? I always like the term, you know, progress doesn't make perfect, progress makes progression, right? So we're continuously learning, and leadership standard work helps us to evaluate what we're doing well, what we may need to pivot on, and maybe some things that we need to look at through lessons learned and coming up with that continuous improvement process. So I want those who are going to listen to this recording later to understand that leadership standard work is a tool to improve. It's not a tool to slap your hands or saying, aha, I've got you. It is a tool to help keep you accountable and dedicated to the team and to the deliverables and the processes, but also keep your teams dedicated as well. And then when you're doing that, guess what? Now you're fostering empowerment of your teams, allowing them to take ownership, allowing them to establish their dedication and their consistency with their leadership standard work. And then they're looking at ways of, I want additional training. What other things are out there that can help me with my leadership standard work? A lot of organizations have academies and universities, and your leadership standard work is a good tool. So it allows for investing in training, fosters a culture of adaptability and resilience, which we all want. And as I mentioned, it's empowering teams to embrace change and drive performance. So, Ms. Leah, when you look at this slide and we talk about leadership standard work and it being a part of continuous improvement, do you see it also as a journey, or is there anything else that you would add to this slide that maybe is not here?
No, absolutely. I do see it as a journey because, as I mentioned earlier, things are always changing. So, as things change, we have to make sure that we receive the training to adapt to what's going on so that we can clearly communicate to our employees. And
Mm-hmm.
also, sometimes we have to speak to upper level management on what's going on. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I do believe that this quote is accurate when it says continuous improvement is a journey that requires dedication, consistency, and ongoing training to achieve lasting success. Don't know, no company has ever made it without the dedication and consistency and training that's required.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I truly appreciate this quote and I do stand firm by it. So thank you for asking the question.
Yes, no problem. Dr. April, did you want to add to this at all?
I have an appreciation for all of this information, but for me, being the person who I am, who's so, committed to empowering teams, empowering the workforce, developing the workforce. I love this bottom portion. The quote is great, But I believe investing in the workforce, taking the time when organizations, when leaders invest by offering training, it can be in-person seated training, it can be remote training, it can be on-the-job training. It doesn't matter what kind of training it is, anything that will bring value to the
Mm-hmm.
individual for what for their purpose and what they're focused to do, as
Mm-hmm.
well as what's needed for the organization. I think that's essential. So talking about the fact that investing in training fosters a culture of adaptability and resilience, empowering teams to embrace change and drive performance. I so agree with that. An organization can't accomplish its mission without the people who do it. And so
Right.
by training and investing in the staff, it allows the employees to be empowered and equipped with what they need to remain adaptable, to remain
Mm-hmm.
resilient, right? And so it does give an opportunity to ensure that, performance a lot aligns because you're equipping the employees and empowering them to do what's necessary. So I really like this, and I do agree that it is a journey. That continuous improvement is a journey. I agree with that. And so I do believe that ongoing training is a key aspect of what you've listed in terms of the dedication, the consistency. So thank you.
No, thank you, Dr. April and Leah. And for those, when I post this recorded master's class on my LinkedIn profile, feel free to comment on it. What do you see with continuous improvement? What has your journey been when it comes to dedication and consistency and investing in training? So, provide that because I'll be looking and I'll be reading so we can keep this conversation going, even if you weren't able to join me here. We want to start this and keep this going. So, I'm going to put that out there for those who have the opportunity to listen to this recording on my LinkedIn profile. So we're almost at the end, coming to this last slide, which is the summary. So, key insights for effective management in today's dynamic business environment. And as we move forward into 21st century business, um, you're going to be looking at implementing leadership standard work effectively using tools such as Workday, Smartsheets, and get with your senior leader to see what tools that are out there. See through your LinkedIn Learning or your academies or your universities that your organizations offer that have courses in leadership standard work so that you don't have to wait. You can start on your own and getting that ball rolling. Next is effective time management and leadership standard work. Go Google executive functions. Executive functions have some really great different articles out there that help with time management, how you can do it, what can work for you within your leadership style, and things that you can pass down to your direct reports or even peers that you can help them with their leadership standard work. Also, look at key concepts in leadership standard work. Are you a traditional or agile leader? Or maybe you're something else. Look at those. And also look at how leadership standard work helps with continuous improvement, helps you identify lessons learned within your projects that you've done and who may need to come into your next project that you didn't have before. It's a way to help you improve upon what you're doing, to help you become a better leader, to help your direct reports and your teams become better in what they're doing, to empower them so that you can do what managers should do, which is manage and lead, be people leaders. Your teams, through leadership standard work, manage the projects. So, in my summary and my closing, Miss Leah, is there anything that you wanted to share? And I want to thank both you and Dr. April for attending. and your attention and engagement during the presentation. You all gave some wonderful insight on the slides. For those who are going to listen to the recording, feel free to email me. My email is right there. And you can also connect with me via my LinkedIn profile. That's also listed on the last slide. I also have my services if you want to learn more about leadership standard work or executive functions, how we can help you with continuous improvement, how to talk to your senior leaders. We can work on something like that. So, Dr. April, Miss Leah, I'm going to give you all a couple of minutes here. Is there any questions that you had for me or any closing statements that you all would like to provide on this presentation for our listeners?
I just say thank. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leah.
Oh, I just so I do have some questions. I have questions if you don't mind me
No.
asking. Okay, so the first question I have is, how do I evaluate the effectiveness of standard work routines and make necessary adjustments if I have to?
To me, that comes in with communication and one-on-one. I like to use Smartsheet with my deliverables in my last role. We had some 375 deliverables that we had to use when we were creating the logistics certification program. So communication is key. And then making sure you're staying on top of not only what you have to do, but also if you're responsible for other groups within the project, like industrial engineering, just making sure that in the professional mindset, you are keeping everyone accountable for what they have to do and making sure you're doing your due diligence and the proper follow-up. Communication is number one and always key. And if you keep that first, your projects will move smoothly.
Thank you for that. My next question is, oftentimes when we make changes, we foster a culture where there are sometimes people are resistant to change. So
Mhm.
how can I foster a culture of discipline and continuous improvement through standard work?
Once again, communication and leadership standard work, it's a way for accountability, like mentioned in the slides, accountability and responsibility. And when you're sitting down with your team members one-on-one through the assignments of the project that you've given to them, you have to tie it back to your bonus. You were hired for this function. You are capable of this function. That's why you have this portion of the project and the deliverables. And these are the things that I need you to do. It's allowing me to keep you accountable. It's allowing you to stay accountable because you are in that project management role. And it's just a way of making sure that you, as the people leader, I'm aware of what I have you doing in this project. And through our weekly one-on-one, you provide me in that 30-minute meeting where you're at on your deliverables within that project. And if you are having problems making the deadline, why? What tools as the people leader do I need to provide you to be successful? And if it's not due to lack of the tools that they need and it's a lack of behavior, then that's a different conversation.
Okay. I appreciate your questions, Dr. Heidi, and thank you so much. I really enjoyed this masterclass.
Thank you, Ms. Leah, Dr. April.
I was just going to say thank you so much for this master class. Really appreciate all the information that you shared. I appreciate you keeping us engaged today. So thank you very, very, very much.
Oh, thank you both. And for those who are going to listen to the recorded session, once again, thank you. I hope that you gain a lot of insight and knowledge to this first master's class. I will be having another one in August, and that one is going to be leadership lessons for supply chain. So where this one was with logistics, this is the other one's going to be supply chain. So we're going to be looking at different aspects of leadership with transportation management, distribution warehouse management. Those of you all who are people leaders, those of you all who are in the training realm of logistics. So there's going to be a lot of great master's level courses that I'm going to be offering over the next few months. So once again, feel free to email me with any of your questions at my Yahoo. Also, don't hesitate to reach out to me on my LinkedIn profile. So once again, thank you for those who were able to attend. For those who plan to listen to the recording, I hope you enjoy what I have to offer, and I look forward to working with you all in the future. Have a wonderful evening and happy Monday. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Heidi. I appreciate you.
Thank you,
Yes,
Heidi. Wonderful.
yes. Thank you. You all have a great evening.
You too. When I did send you a private message
Okay.
to by text, is it still recording or did it stop recording?
I need to stop recording. Hold on.